you know, this is where you build that foundation for the season. So, I was anxious to get in here. Much deserved. I said all last year. I think he's one of the better safeties, if not the best safety in the league. Anything you ask him to do, he does at a high level. So, I definitely think it's much appreciated. I'm happy he's back. And hopefully, we could, put together another good year.
What is different when you walk in the building now? I mean, 2 days in to the new era. What do you notice in terms of that?
I mean, it's still kind of early to tell, but, the overall lay of the land is different. You got to swipe your key card twice now. A little Fort Knox action going on. But, it's kind of too early to tell. We're just in here, knocking the dust off, getting to know one another, getting introduced to the strength and conditioning program. So, that's about where we're at with it right now.
You still got the same signs up, like the do your jobs and all that?
I don't know. Not that I've seen. If they are, they definitely aren't in the same spot.
What were your thoughts when Jerod Mayo was hired?
We spent a lot of time with Coach Mayo. Even my first year here, I felt like, he could be a head coach just by how he commanded the room, his attention to detail, how he got the best out of his guys. And, I think one of the greatest qualities, a head coach can have is, his knowledge of the game, how he teaches it. Everyone learns differently. So, you have to be good across the board so all players get, conveyed the right information. And he's a leader of men. He knows how to motivate you, get the best out of you, play for God, but when it's time to work, it's time to work. So, I saw it early, and I'm just happy we didn't lose him, anywhere else.
There's almost an emphasis on putting back young guys this offseason. What's your level of confidence that the team will be more successful this season, despite there not being a ton?
I'm always confident in my guys. But right now it's too early to tell. Games are at 1 in April, but you could lose some if you come in here and you're not, where your feet are. You're just going through the motions. So, right now that's all we're worried about, man. Getting back in shape, getting introduced to the new material, getting to know the new coaches, those guys getting to know us, and get the ball rolling a little bit.
Does it feel like the slate is clean now, though? Like, have you put last season?
Every year, once your season ends, it's a new slate. No one cares what you did last year, good or bad. You got a new chance to make a new name. Whether it was good or bad, and you can definitely build off things that you did last year. But at the end of the day, you got to come out and prove yourself again, each and every year, and that's the beauty of this league.
From a player perspective.
Especially last year when all that controversy. What was kind of your reaction to it, but also seeing now that he doesn't have a job?
At the end of the day, it's a business. I'm thankful for Bill. That's a guy I had a lot of admiration and respect for. He gave me a chance, coming off of ACL when really no one else did. So I will always be forever indebted, to Bill. But at the end of the day, it's a business. Mayo is a great coach. So is Bill. And I don't like to make comparisons because that's the thief of joy. But what he did worked. It was a dynasty here, and like all things, change is good. So I'm excited to see what Mayo and his guys can do. Go out there and play my ass off for him. Absolutely, I don't think he's done yet. If I know him like I think I know, I don't think he's done yet.
When your team has the 3rd overall pick, I mean, how closely are you? Like, how much intrigue is there from a player perspective in one direction they go?
Man, I'm just whoever we get, I know they'll do what's best for the team, whatever position it may be, whatever we do with it, whether we stay there, go down, go up. I really don't know. That's the front office job to make those decisions. But whatever we do, I know it'll be what's best for the team.
Do things feel any different with DeMarcus Covington now leading the defense, and what were your feelings about him now stepping in?
DC had a huge role on defense last year, so everything you can kind of see how it played out already. But I think it's tremendous. He's a knowledgeable guy, knows the defense inside and out. He spoke about his journey today. And it's a lot of things that I didn't even know. So I'm excited for him. He was very instrumental, to my time here. So I'm happy he got the chance. I'm happy I get to play for him, and keep building on this thing.
Jabrill, on that note, is other coordinators kind of giving the backstory? This is like something new.
I'm sorry, I couldn't really.
Mark was sharing his background.
Yeah. I mean, not really, but, it's just when you think you know a guy well enough and then you hear some new information, it's kind of like, oh, wow, when you hear their journey and everything it took to get where they are today. Players and coaches all have a journey, some harder than others, but as long as you arrive at the right destination, it was all worth it. Just where he started from, just the jobs he took, how he met Bill, and the opportunity he got when he worked the guy out in front of Bill. Bill called him up for an interview, and, he's been here ever since. So just like that, your life can change. I think he was at either Eastern Illinois University or UT Martin. It was one of those, or Chattanooga. It was one of those three. But, that's crazy. And, the fact that he hasn't looked back since, he's, defensive coordinator in the NFL now, that speaks volume to his journey. I did, yeah. That's the first thing he said. He played a little offense. He had a picture of him catching it. Well, I don't know if he caught it, actually. It was right there. I don't know, I'm going to have to go ask him about that.
You talked about how one of the best qualities about Coach Mayo is that he's in your shoes as a player.
For sure.
How do you do that?
Absolutely. When a guy knows not only what it takes to get here, but to stay here and be successful, played at the highest level, played in the biggest game, it just gives you a different sense. I feel as though even like when the young guys come in, a guy who sat in their seats before, they're more inclined to, definitely, listen to what he has to say, no matter how hard-headed they are. And I think that with his knowledge of actually playing and then learning, under Bill and, with the rest of the coaches, I think it's definitely a good thing. Like a lot of former players, have had success in this league. So, we're gonna do our due diligence to, make them look good and, see where this thing goes.
Jabrill, I've noticed you've laced up your skates a lot this fall. What did you get back into that?
It's just something I used to do as a kid. I kind of got away from, and I went to a skating event and I thought I would be pretty good at it, because I'm an athlete. But I wasn't, and it kind of gave me a new motivation, and it's great cardio. The first time I was out there, I think I made it around like 2 or 3 times, sweating, legs burning. But I think it'll probably help me with my balance, center of gravity, core strength, and it's a good little hobby. I like doing little things to get my mind off of things. Oh, absolutely. I bought them up in Roller World in Saugus. So yeah, they're my car right now.
Players have mentioned how Jerod Mayo kind of breaks the game down from a different perspective than what you typically get from a coach. Can you shine some light on that for us a little bit?
Just schematics. Since he's out there, he can tell you a little bit more tidbits, what's to look for if you take this one thing away. But it's just, as a player, then when you coach, I feel as though like they have a different, feel and understanding for the game, because not only were you out there, you tried it your way, you saw what works and what didn't work, and now looking through it from a coach's lens, you can kind of save some guys from kind of making the same mistakes you make, help them play a lot faster, be more instinctual, things like that. Yep. For the most part, Duran's been here, and he's doing a phenomenal job. He's tailoring it, to his way, but for the most part, we're all comfortable doing it. It's things we've been doing. We know what to expect. You're gonna work if you come here, and what you put in is what you get out. So we're definitely excited for it.
Well, Hunter mentioned that this time of year is a good time to reevaluate and reestablish. Now there's been about 3 months since last season. With that perspective, what do you think you want to fix from last year? Maybe you didn't realize it.
It's always room for improvement. Team-wise, obviously, we can win more games. But, when you start to look at it, from the offensive or the defensive side of the ball, there's always places you can improve. Missed tackles, more plays on the ball, explosive plays, technique, just your overall adaptability to, in-game situations, your situational awareness, things you might have heard in meetings, came up in the game, and you didn't make the play on it. So just things like that, man. There's always room to improve in this league.
Is there anything from the locker room standpoint?
I mean, I feel like our locker room is, it's a pretty good locker room. The leadership, from the top to the bottom. The young guys come in ready to work, knowing what to expect, knowing the tradition. And, the guys here do a great job of bringing guys along. Even when I was a new guy here, they did a great job bringing me along. And, I'm just returning the favor. I said what I said on it. I don't like it. I don't know how you officiate it. It's a 15-yard penalty. Is it a personal foul? So if someone does it twice, so they get eliminated from the game. I just have a lot of questions about it. Like, what are they looking for? What draws the flag? Because if it's just gonna be like how it is when we hit a guy really hard, the optics of it, and you flag it, rather than some sort of protocol that they have to, throw the flag. But we don't know. I'm sure we'll figure it out in preseason. We'll see how that goes. With the new rule changes, that's always an interesting time. I mean, you just gotta adapt. It definitely, as a defender, I've never had to worry about the health of the guy I'm tackling. Obviously you don't want to, lead with the crown of your helmet, but typically if you hit somebody in the strike zone, however you get them down is how you get them down. But like with anything, we have to adapt. You don't want to hurt the team getting 15-yard penalties. I don't think, me personally, I've had any tackles that might have been the hip drop tackles. I'm more of a kind of wrap and roll kind of guy. But, in certain situations, you got to get the guy on the ground, you got to get him on the ground. And, as long as you do it legally, no grabbing by the horse collar or the face mask, But now this is just another obstacle for us. But, the defensive guys will adapt. I'm just curious to when we're going to start getting some rule changes in our favor. You know what I mean? But whatever it is out there.
Jabrill.
Two final questions?
Jabrill, how do you feel about Stephon Diggs leaving the division?
I'm a competitive guy, man. So I love going against who, people think are some of the best players in the league. You definitely want to bring a little extra that day, but, it's like a bittersweet moment. I'm not going to lie and say, I'm not happy, but, we still play those guys. They're still AFC, so it's like he isn't really going anywhere. It's just, I got to see him twice anymore.
Last question.
Obviously, just after having this fight.
Yeah.
What's it like to have him immediately back?
I didn't think he would, I didn't think he was done anyway. So, I think this is his way to kind of stay engaged, but, take the load off of his body, get some more time, with the family, but also still be a part of the organization and, doing the thing he loves to do. It said advisor, so, whatever that means. I'm sure as long as I get to, bounce some knowledge off of him, see him around the locker room, having Slate in the locker room, he uplifted spirits, always knew what to say. So I'm definitely happy we kept him in the building. Sure.